Doing great this morning. So, what do you have for us on our lifestyle segment? Before you can even get into it, please greet the listener.
Good morning to our amazing listeners. It's me, Elizabeth R., the audacious coach, back with another thought provoking conversation.
Yes, ma'am. And we'd absolutely want to hear what the thought provoking conversation has in store for us. So do proceed, and we'll be listening on our end.
All right, so today we're tackling the topic you are where you are today because of the quality of the decisions you have made in the past.
Let's do
The
this.
thing about life and the way life is constantly unfolding for us is that we are the final deciding factor.
Mm,
No one can influence your decisions without your permission.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
So I want you to ponder for a minute. When was the last time that you critiqued your decision making strategy? Do you ever even reevaluate your decision making strategy? Are you making your decisions driven by emotions or logical reasoning? This is very important because it determines the driving force in your life. Well, if you have not thought about it before, because honestly, it makes sense to me. You as a person, you function like a business. Your finances are like the Department of Finance. Your relationships are like the Department of Human Resource, and your personal brand and how you project yourself to the world, and your natural giftings that God has given you is like the product services and your offerings that you share with the world, right? So it makes sense that even with your life, you make decisions carefully, with not just carefully, but with a proper strategy that helps you to win in life and not self defeating or self sabotaging. So I'm going to share with you a generic decision making criteria that will help you to apply um, wisdom and knowledge while you're making your decisions. You can also use it in your career decision making, relationships decision making, and your finance decision making. Firstly, look at the strategic alignment. Secondly, clarify the problem that you're facing. Do you have quality information available in front of you, or are you making a poor decision because your decision is not informed, you don't have enough data? Have you assessed the risk? What do you get to lose? What are you sacrificing? Because if you're making a decision to go left, you are automatically aborting the opportunities that you would have received if you had went right. Look at the financial impact. Look at it long term, short term. Is it worth the sacrifice? Look at the opportunity cost. Look at the time sensitivity. Is it really urgent to make this decision right now? Or can I take a bit of time to ponder on it, marinate on it, and really evaluate if I'm in alignment? Look at the stakeholder impact. Your spouse, your partner. Are they in agreement, or is this a driving wedge in your relationship? And the implementation feasibility. Are you naturally gifted to give off of yourself in this area where there's a demand? Do you have capacity? Can you make it work? Or will you need to pull in resources from outside that actually end up costing you more, either costing you your peace, costing you money, costing you time, costing you energy? Are you really in a position to be making this decision? And the long-term sustainability. Once you've made this decision, can you really live with yourself? Because ultimately, every single decision that you make, the only person who has to live with the lifetime consequences of the decision that you've just made is you. I want us to quickly, while you're marinating on all of that information, I know it was a bit of a mouthful. I want us to look at a bit of a case study. Let's look at person A and person B. Person A is unhappy in a relationship that they chose. Nobody forced them. They saw the person and they made that decision. Person B is unhappy with the job that they applied for. And it doesn't really make sense because at some point you were so happy when you made this decision. You were so happy. You were like, congratulations, we're offering you this job, and you jumped for it. And you saw this person, you thought, oh my word, he is so handsome. Oh my goodness, she is so gorgeous. and you jumped into the relationship. How can something that once made you so excited, so full of life, become something that now becomes, sorrow, the reason for your depression, the reason you drive to the bottle, or any other self-harming habits that you might have? Well, let's look at the root of the problem. When you were making that decision, firstly, were you in alignment with yourself? Meaning your mind, your your thoughts, your heart, your purpose, everything within you, your spirit. Was it in agreement with making this decision? Or were you making the decision because you're desperate? Because oftentimes are not, when we make decisions from a place of desperation, we find ourselves actually making the wrong decisions. But because we're so desperate to fill in this tension and this void and this loneliness and whatever it is that you're trying to fill, you don't even recognize that actually the place that you're operating from is actually from emotions, negative emotions, and not strategic, logical reasoning. And it is important to always take a moment of pause. I think the rule of thumb for all of us, a wise rule of thumb for all of us, is that when you're about to make a decision, if you can't sleep on it for at least 24 hours, or if you can't take at least 30 minutes to think about it, and it's not an emergency, let the answer be no. Everything that is meant for you will never miss you. When the other people putting pressure on you to make a decision, see your value, see your capacity, see your service offering, see who you are and how your impact in their lives can make their lives for the better. They will always have patience and grace to give you permission to process and think through so that you are making intentional decision, purpose-driven decisions for your life. And also knowing that even when you have taken the time to think through those decisions, you will be fully committed to them and this new venture that you're about to embark into because you've taken the time to think about it. Thinking is such a natural thing. Thinking is such a natural thing that we do so easily in every little thing that we do, but we actually forget to think about our thinking to ensure that we're constantly making strategic decisions to improve our lives so we don't repeat the mistakes of the past, and not keep self-sabotaging and going around in circles just because of lack of planning.
Sure, that is absolutely amazing. It's so weird that you touched on that because right before coming through to this segment, we were talking about whether peace is expensive or is it affordable. And of course, I said it's way more affordable, and we have people that say it's actually expensive. But I think what you just touched on explains how you then define your peace. The decisions that you make equally mean your piece would ultimately be expensive or it would be affordable. And I don't know if you'd like to agree or it depends on the situation.
I completely agree. Because if you are in alignment when you're making a decision, any obstacles that come your way, it's just information feedback to let you know, okay, you're moving a little bit too fast, hover for a little bit, or check your emotions, or check your finances, check this, check that. But you've got strong conviction, without a doubt that I am moving in alignment with my purpose. I'm aligned. You've got confidence, you've got courage, you've got all of that in place. But if you're going to, and you have peace, and one thing I love about alignment and being aligned with your purpose and goals, your values and your purpose is that even when you're facing challenges, there is such a beautiful peace that you cannot explain. I was in a coaching session and one of my clients said to me, I've just lost my job, but I've got so much peace. I'm like, it's because you're in alignment. It doesn't make sense, but it's alignment. The only thing that can give you peace that surpasses all understanding is when you are in alignment with the purpose that which God has set for you. Why does it not make sense that you have peace? Well, because God has already factored everything in. So even when you do experience challenges and obstacles, that peace stays there because there's an inner knowing deep in your spirit that knows that the Lord has gone ahead of you. He's made the crooked path straight. So therefore, everything has already been provided for. It's just a matter of